Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Frugal Homestead, and today we are going to take a look at a frugal DIY kitchen makeover that I completed. I'm kind of proud of it. It was a lot of work, but let me tell you that when you put some sweat equity in and use your creativity, you can save yourself a lot of money. So let's get into it. I had the privilege of getting this beautiful house that needed a lot of TLC, and look at this kitchen. Oh my goodness, many people would not have taken it on, but I counted it a privilege to get rid of those blue cabinets, that terrible floor, and that film in the window had to go like the same day. Like, just gotta go. But anyway, let's see what we did. In the kitchen, as I'm standing in the dining room area, the kitchen is kind of long like a gallery, and the refrigerator is the thing that stuck out the most. Like it's like a big dinosaur in the room. That had to go. So out came the fridge and also the stove. And then I got to work on the rest of it. Now I took all the hardware off, and the hardware was all over the place, different styles. And to make them all blend together, I painted them all this hammered brown color, just to make them blend together. And this is the paint that I used from Rust-Oleum Hammered Brown, in case you're interested. I used it in a lot of things in the house. And here are the cabinets. After I kind of almost finished doing the first coat of paint on all the left cabinets to the left outside of this picture, I started to notice that it was very difficult to get behind those spaces in between the doors. And it just seemed like, oh my goodness, no matter how much I painted, there was still some more blue. The blue, it was hard to cover it. This was the first coat of paint, and I ended up having to put almost 3 coats of paint just to cover it all. Here is after the second coat of paint, and when I put the second coat of paint on, I noticed that it was not a wise idea to try to paint it with the door still on, because I couldn't get behind the hinges without getting paint all over the hardware. So yikes, I had to take the doors off. And look behind there, you can see how there were areas that got missed because of the doors still being on. So I took the doors off, and I had to come up with a creative way to paint the hinges now, because yeah, that wasn't working out well. But this is after 2 coats of paint. Still, you can see blue. Look at that. My goodness. So this is the idea I came up with. To paint the hinges, I created sort of this rubber dam with big plastic garbage bags, and I pushed the hinge through the garbage bag and wrapped the garbage bag around the doors a bit so that I could isolate them and then spray them with that hammered brown color. So that turned out to be a good hack. It works pretty good. I was able to spray them without getting paint on the actual doors that had already been painted. So that worked out really, really well. Yeah. You might want to try that. But I tell you, what you really should do is just take your hardware off. You'll save yourself some headache and some time. But this was what I had to do because I had already gotten way deep into the project, and I didn't want to take the hinges off at this point. Then it came down to the screws. What am I going to do about these screws that now have the neutral paint on them? And I got this great idea to use an old emery board and file the paint off. And lo and behold, that hack worked really, really good. Now see, here is one of the screws before, and then this is what it looked like after I filed it down. No more paint on it. So I was kind of proud of that little hack. Yeah, you can tell I was proud of it because I'm going to show it to you again. So here are the screws before I filed them. You see all the paint on it. It looks really grody. And this is after I filed all the paint off. Not only did I get the paint off, but they were shining a little bit too. Well, if I could bring it in focus, yeah, they were shining a little bit. So, not too bad. Yeah, that turned out really great. Just with the nail file. And that in itself is frugal, because that would have been in the garbage. I no longer was using it. So it was, it got another life, it got another purpose, and it helped out. Now here's my kitchen with all 3 coats of paint. Finally got rid of all of that aquamarine blue, or whatever you want to call it. And now the kitchen is looking more neutral, and it looks more livable to me. So now that it's all nice and neat, it looks bland. So I wanted to try to put some type of design on the cabinets just to give it a little love and warmth. And I found this in a dollar store. I think it's a Dollar General. And I think this little pack cost me about $3, something like that. And it was set up, the design said make it into a crest, just like this. So I put it on a cake flat just to see what it would look like. It looks cute, but I couldn't figure out a way to do it without cutting the little bird. And I'm like, no, I don't want to cut the bird in half, because you still have to open the doors, right? That wasn't working. So I had to come up with another plan. So I took it back down and I cut out all of the stickers. And I began to notice that some parts of these little vines were duplicates, and you could match them up and make little sets. So I started cutting them up and making little sets so that I could stick them on the cabinets with a little bit more creativity. So you can see that this piece here looks just like this piece right here. Yeah. So when I installed it, I kept that in mind, and I matched up more pieces of the vines just like that as I was putting them up. I also cut out all the stickers. And this you can see right here where I put one of the stickers up right behind the knob. And it looks really cute there, I thought. While I'm over here, let me show you these hinges. Look how well they turned out after spraying them and filing the screws. I brought it back to life. Yeah, kind of proud of that. Now, this is the end result of me redesigning the little sticker. So it's like bless our nest, and it looks like the blessings are raining down into the bird nest, raining down love and blessings. Turned out great. So here it is from a distance. Now you see all the cabinets with everything installed back in place. So now let's look at that floor. Remember, the floor was just terrible stains. There was nothing to do except really it needed to be changed, the linoleum, but I couldn't afford it right now. So what I did is I painted it white using some leftover white semi-gloss paint that we painted on the walls. And then I stenciled it with some butterflies, and then I put a top coat on it, this Rust-Oleum floor coating. And actually it said matte, but it's really glossy. So now you see the before and the after. I think it's pretty dramatic. Yeah, here's the before, that galley shot, and here's after. And I don't even have appliances in there yet. The fridge, I pulled it, you see it to the side, but it's no longer in there. So I just wanted to encourage you, because here's the makeover cost. There was a gallon of paint, there was hammered brown paint, there's cafe curtains, and we really saved some money by doing it ourselves and not going to the store and paying all the money or paying a contractor to do it. That's for later. But for now, I had a limited budget and I got that done for very cheap. It was just my sweat equity that got it done. So I encourage you to use your creativity and save the money. You'll be happy you did, and it's a good feeling to walk through and see, oh, hey, I did that myself, and it looks pretty cool. All right, well, that's it for today. I hope that you will like and subscribe and comment, and I'll see you next time.